So I had an interesting conversation the other day with my son. He's a first year student in college and is struggling with what he wants to do. Um, I think he's all excited about the college experience and not really not really having a clear idea of the outcome. Now he knows that I trade. Um, he's known this for quite a few years, but hasn't expressed very much interest in it. And I think one of the reasons for that might be just his age. But at some point, he's going to hopefully get interested. And then comes the the age-old question of why do most beginning why do most beginning traders fail? And I've been pondering this for a little bit, and it's kind of an interesting question because I've been doing this for a long time, and for me, trading is easy. It's somewhat mechanical, and I've that doesn't mean that I haven't made mistakes in the past or struggled when I was learning to trade, but it just seems like it's so long ago, and I think it's easy to take for granted. So I wanted to make this video today, about why maybe most traders fail or new traders fail. Um, and if you're watching this video, you may be wondering the same thing, or you've been struggling with some of the same questions or ideas in your own trading journey. And I thought that I'd take this opportunity to just lay out for you kind of the simple path that I've developed over the years, and one that I think has removed some of the mystery from how to go about making money in the markets. Now, the internet and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, I mean, if you spend any amount of time at all on social media and maybe looked around trading ideas or things that you could try, you're probably inundated with continuous advertisements for this trading program or that trading program or this set of indicators, or the list goes on and on. And how do you sift through all of that noise, if you will, which is really geared towards fulfilling that search for the Holy Grail, um, that latest and greatest trading plan or trading indicator that'll take you from a struggling a new trader without much direction to, Lamborghinis and big houses on the beach. And while that may very well be true, I guess you got to ask yourself, what are you looking for? What fits into your current lifestyle? And for example, myself, I work a full-time job. I manage a team in a chemical manufacturing facility, and I don't have the time to, spend time during the day looking at charts or following indicators or trying to come up with some trading strategy to catch some move in the moment. That doesn't fit my lifestyle. What I've developed is a plan whereby I focus on the daily time frame, and it is, eliminated a large percentage of the stress, I think, at least for me. And I think if you're in a similar situation, maybe you're a student, or maybe you've got a full-time job, or heck, maybe you're a 50 something person like myself looking to build up that retirement account, or you know, uh, get involved in something to take up some of your time that can make you some money. And you can make a lot of money, trading. It's not that hard. Once you figure out a strategy that works for you, and then the most important thing is developing the mental discipline to stick to it. Um, so, I mean, I'll give you for an example. I'll give you a little behind the curtains look at what I do, and it's pretty simple. It's worked out well for me, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't continue to work out good for me unless I let emotion or or a lack of discipline to derail it. So let's not do that. But anyway, um, my approach to trading is pretty simple. I mostly trade the commodities markets. Get involved in corn futures and 30-year bond futures. Uh, I do like to place trades from time to time in the E-mini S&P 500 or the Qs. Um, I don't look for um, trading ideas that follow the news, or the latest stock tip from somebody who thinks they've got the inside track. Typically what I found is that when you're trading on a daily time frame, the news is already built into the price. So there are rare exceptions, of course, and that's just part of it. But typically what I do is, on my charts are pretty clean. I use a exponential moving average crossover as the basis for my trading signals, meaning that I got two exponential moving averages plotted on my charts. One's a 6 period and one's a 3 period. As you might well guess, the 3 period, is a little more sensitive to price action. So that's the line I'm looking for. And um, typically try to stay out of sideways channels, where uh, the consensus of the market direction isn't really clear, meaning that bulls and bears are kind of in a sideways tussle with each other, trying to gain control. I prefer a trending market. Um, now my 3 and 6 period crossover typically allows me to get in at the bottom of a market if the sentiment is bullish, and at the top of the market if the sentiment is bearish. And what I mean by sentiment, I'll defer to the weekly time frame, so a higher time frame when I'm trading on a daily chart, to get the overall direction that the market is currently in. So if on a weekly chart, the last couple of weeks bars were moving in an upwards direction, then I'm only looking for trades with a bullish sentiment, and vice versa. If the weekly chart's looking down, then I'm looking to go down as well. And I like to use that moniker, that KISS moniker, keep it stupidly simple. And I think if you do that, the odds are very well in your favor that you will have success trading in the markets. Now, it's not exciting. It's not day trading. It's not jumping in and catching a few pips in the Dow or the E-minis, over a course of, 15 minutes to an hour on a daily chart. That doesn't work for me. Like I said, my lifestyle doesn't allow for that kind of distraction. I set my trades on a daily time frame, and typically, when I get home from work, I'll fire up the computer and open up the software that I use, which not a plug for NinjaTrader, but that's the platform that I use. It's got a cheap $12 a month data feed that works perfectly for what I'm doing. But anyway, what I do is I open up the charts and I look, just to start from the beginning of a move. Let's say, I'm looking for that 3-period moving average to cross over that 6-period moving average. Now, whether it's going up or whether it's going down, of course, with the weekly confirmation. And then I use the ADX, as a momentum indicator, as a confirmation basis of that crossover. And I like the ADX numbers to be, over 20. And in a bearish market, I like the blue line of the ADX to have crossed under the red line, and then vice versa, cross up over the red line, in a bullish market. So with my moving average crossover and my ADX being over 22 or at least 20, and then getting that DMI crossover, you set those rules down in kind of the basis of your trading plan. And I follow it like it's written in stone. And over the years, I built up a great confidence in that trading plan, which sounds pretty simple, by backtesting it. You could say that, backtesting is my second hobby as far as trading goes. So what is backtesting? Well, backtesting is a process by which you can gain a tremendous amount of insight into the historical success or failure of trading signals or your trading plan or strategy, whatever you want to call it, to kind of fine tune what works. And the way you do that is, on a daily chart, I'll pick a moment in time, a year back from the current day, and I'll set that bar on the right-hand side of the screen to where I can't see anything in the future. And I'll start to advance my chart one day at a time, looking for the next trade setup. And then when that setup appears, I apply those additional filters for me, which is the ADX DMI crossovers. And then I use profit targets based on the average true range of that particular commodity, and that's a whole different topic we can get into, in depth over trading plans. But this is basically, kind of a higher level explanation. And continue to advance the chart one day at a time. And when you get a trade set up, you mark it down in a trading log, which is a simple chart in a notebook. It could be an Excel spreadsheet, whatever works for you. Jot down the time, the symbol that you're trading, whether or not you're going long or short, the price that you entered. Now, the most important next step, and I can't stress this enough, this is the absolute most important next step, is what is your stop loss? And that stop loss needs to be set next. And that stop loss is your hedge against blowing up your account. So everyone, when they're typically getting into trades, from what I found, there's an urge to count your money before you made it. And they focus on the profit target. How much money do I expect to make on this trade? Well, in order to manage your risk, you have to have a corresponding stop loss. And typically, what I'm looking for is at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now, what does that mean? That means that, for every dollar that I'm looking to win, I'm only willing to lose $1. And you may ask yourself, well, how can you possibly make money like that if for every dollar you're willing to win, you're willing to lose a dollar? Well, I'll tell you. So the purpose of backtesting is to develop and fine tune your trading signals and your filters to where you have, an 80 to 90% win rate over time. And that could be over a year's worth of time, which is typically, when I'm doing a backtesting block, it's a year in time. And getting that backtesting uh, experience over that year in time usually, will take you about 2 hours. So, there's a cost of acquiring knowledge, and I think I would rather pay in time backtesting than pay in money in a live market, giving my hard-earned cash just to some other stranger that I've never met before. So, you know, just kind of to recap, use backtesting as a way to fine tune your trading strategy, which is basically your entry methodology, and your filters, um, to develop that 80 to 90% win rate. So with an 80 to 90% win rate, you could probably understand how, you could make a tremendous amount of money on a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Because if, you know, 2 out of 10 trades are losers and the other 8 are winners, then your P&L sheet is on an upwards trajectory. And 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio trades are pretty normal. 1 to 2 is that sweet spot. 1 to 3 comes along from time to time. Typically 1-to-1, 1 to 2 is where most of my trades are entered, and I make I wouldn't say a serious amount of money because I'm not a large account size trader, but you know it's not uncommon to make 5-10 grand a month, for 15 to 20 minutes of work a day, looking at charts and seeing if the setup is there and applying the filters, and you know entering the trade, setting the stop loss, setting the corresponding profit target, and walking away from it. And then when I get home from work the next day, I check it. And that has allowed me to not be tied to a computer, not be tied to my phone, not have that distraction throughout the day, preventing me from concentrating on what's most important at that time. And, it's been a winning strategy for me. So, if you're watching this video, maybe you should try that, because I really believe that, if you approach it the way that I just explained, you too can succeed trading the market. And it works with options, it works with futures in the commodities market. I mean, hell, it'll work with plain old stocks. I just happen to enjoy the commodities market. Um, yeah, so, you know, take it for what it's worth. You know, uh, there is no holy grail. There's just some hard work that you put in on the front end. And with that hard work, fine tuning your strategy and getting comfortable with navigating your trading software. It's pretty simple. Um, look to get your kicks somewhere else. Don't get your kicks placing trades in the market. That's just a recipe for disaster and a way to lose all your hard-earned money. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I wanted to make that quick video for you guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to learn some more, uh, subscribe to the channel. I drop a video or two a week, based on questions that I get and ideas that are floating around in my head. And I like to share them with you, so it makes your journey to financial independence that much easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You guys have a great day. Peace.